Hey everyone, how are you doing? Let me tell you something. Your emails doesn't have to be plain and boring every time. So if you really want your audience to get excited about opening your emails every single time, then one of the things you really need to consider is the design of your emails, because this would really help you to grab the attention of your subscribers. One of the brands that does this so well is Samsung. I just love how they send their newsletters. It's always looking very simple and so sleek. Maybe it's because I'm a Samsung person. Okay? So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to design a very beautiful newsletter inside of Canva, and after we'll link it to MailChimp just so that it's easy to send it to your subscribers. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you're hitting on the subscribe button, and just in case you're on the free version of Canva, I have a link in the description box below that can help you start using Canva Pro for free. So make sure to check it out. Let's get started in today's tutorial. So what I'll need you to know is this newsletter design should work with any product or any photo at all you have, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be with sneakers, okay? So let's do this. The first thing we need to do is to come to create a design and just search for newsletter, okay? Canva should pop it up for you, and you can choose any of the dimensions at all of your choice, but make sure you are choosing email newsletter.
Hey, I've texted you. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I'm recording. That's why I haven't seen it.
Oh, sorry. Bye-bye.
We'll talk, okay? Okay. So after you open it, this is the kind of dimension you should see. It should look plain like an A4 sheet. The first thing we are going to do is to change the color of the background, okay? So come into colors and make sure you are choosing DDDDDD.
What did he say?
DDDDDD. Okay, so I think 6 Ds, or how many Ds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 Ds. Okay, so that you can have something like this. Now, the next thing we want to do is, if you want to zoom in like I'm zooming in, just make sure you're using Control and the plus, okay, sign, and that should zoom in for you. And this also means that just in case you're not familiar with the Canva shortcut, there's a PDF also I've attached in the description box below. Make sure you're getting the Canva cheat sheet. What did I even just say? Make sure you're getting the PDF down there. It contains every single shortcut you can use in Canva, okay? So make sure to do that. Okay, so now that we've done that, press R on your keyboard, okay, to add the square, then increase the size, okay, to something like this. Make sure it's a rectangle, something like this, very pretty, and we'll change the color to white. Okay, so come here and change the color to white. Come to the border style and increase the corner rounding to something like 30, which works beautiful. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll come into elements, and I'll search for sneakers, okay? So sneaker, and I should see all of this in here. Okay, so I can choose this. Actually, this is what I use, and I just cropped it like this, rotated it, and increased the size. Okay, so something like this, you know, it should work beautifully. Okay, so I also wouldn't want to make it too big, so something like this should work nicely for us. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to add my text. So I press T on my keyboard to add the text, and would increase the size. Position my text here and increase the size, and I will say what I want to say. Quality sneakers for everyday use. Okay, I'm going to change this to Poppins Bold because this is our title. Okay, so I'll just come here and I'll choose maybe bold. Okay, yeah, bold should work for us, and we can just do this and increase the size more. So quality sneakers for everyday use. Then we add our secondary text. Okay, so I'll position this here and maybe leave it like this, and I'll just make sure I change the alignment, okay, to left. Okay, then all I'm simply going to say is Atlanta's deep soil yields quality materials. Well, this is just a sample thing. I don't know if it sounds good enough. Okay, so I'll press R on my keyboard. Okay, so press R on your keyboard because we are going to add some, you know, a button. Okay, so we'll leave it here, come to the corner rounding and add some corner rounding to it, then come to color. Okay, the color we are going to use the 585858. Okay, something like this, and we'll just leave it here. Okay, so after we do that, I will just duplicate it. So use Control D for duplicate. I will just say get yours now. Okay, the call to action, get yours now. All right, then we'll decrease the size, okay, because we want it to fit here in this button. Okay, I'll decrease the size more and center it. Okay, something like this, which is very cool, I guess. Then the corner rounding, I think, is now looking too much. Okay, so yeah, something like this. Then we would change the color to white, the text. Okay, then select everything and make sure everything is looking good, and the spacing should be good as well. I hope this has been easy so far. The next thing we're going to do is to create the second section of this particular newsletter. Okay, news for anyway, so this doesn't look centered to me. okay, it's actually centered. So I'll just duplicate it, okay, and make sure you're doing that as well, and bring it to the bottom over here. Okay, now duplicate this if you want, okay, because maybe we want to emphasize on certain parts of the shoe, okay, and we'll just change everything to 0, crop it, okay, just like this, and crop it like this as well, okay, nicely. But we are actually facing a challenge over here. We would see that the cropping doesn't look curved because this actually looks curved, so we would want to make sure this is looking curved as well. So make sure you're placing it on top, okay, right on top. Then come to the border style, okay, and increase it to 30 because we actually use 30, okay, so 30 should be fine, okay, and you can see everything is looking very clean, very nice, okay. Then make sure you're pressing L on your keyboard to add some lines. Come to the line style and reduce the line weight to 1, okay. Then come to the line end, okay, and choose the arrow. All right, okay, so I'll just point this anywhere and reduce the length of this line and duplicate it, position somewhere here, and duplicate it as well, and just, you know, I'll select it and put this here, okay. Yeah, see, I'm talking about it, but you know, we are actually not talking about anything. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'll add some text. So press T on your keyboard to add some text, and make sure the size of the text is reduced, and add in any text at all of your choice. So I'll just paste in my text in here. So this is what I want to actually see, and I would also just, you know, make sure everything is looking good in here, and also place this also over here like this. And just to make sure the spacing is looking good, I'll select this and select this and just bring it down a little bit. Now the next thing we would want to do is to make sure we are adding a title, okay. Yeah, actually I don't know why it almost escaped me, so I can just say run with the best shoes, okay. So I can just put it here and center it, and also just reduce the size, and that's what you simply have to do, okay. So now we have this section covered. The next thing we would want to do is to focus on the footer, okay, which is some extra text at the bottom over here. So press L on your keyboard, press L on your keyboard, okay, and just bring it down in here, increase the size, come to the line weight and make it 1, okay, and make sure you are just, you know, centering it just to make it easy. Come to position and choose center, and this is what we have in here. We want to add some extra text, so I just duplicate this text and position this here, and duplicate this as well and position this here, okay. And I'll just increase everything and make it centered. All right, then what I can say is join over 7 million happy runners, okay. And I would come into the secondary text, and I would also add some text in here. So I've added my text, as you can see, and what we can also do now is just to make sure we have some, you know, at least some extra space at the bottom in here. We would want to add one extra button, okay. So we can just paste it over here and just say get yours now, or you can say buy yours today. You can change it to anyone at all if you want, okay. Then the extra thing you can also do is I'll just choose everything and increase it a little bit, okay. Yeah, then you can come here and add maybe your social icons, okay. So I can just come here and say Facebook, okay. Come to elements and say Facebook, come to graphics, and make sure you're choosing the appropriate icon. And if you want so come to, you should see something like magic recommendations, okay. So I'll select all of this, and I'll choose Pinterest if you have Pinterest as well. If you can choose the icons that represent all the social icons you are available, or you are, you know, you have a profile at. Why am I even talking plenty? Okay, so we'll spread these ones, okay. So something like that. Select all. They look too big, so I'll reduce the size more, just in case it's still too big. You can just, you know, something like that, and position it in here, okay. So we have something like this, and we'll just select all and, you know, center it as well. Make sure you're coming in here, choose the color that matches with the colors you're using, okay, so that everything is looking branded and looking very nice as well. Lovely jubbly. So you can see we've been able to design the newsletter. Everything is looking very easy, okay. So the next thing we are going to do is linking our design to MailChimp so we can send it to our subscribers. But just in case you are using some other platform, make sure to check in Canva to see if it's available. The process should be the same, but if you are new to all of this, make sure you're signing up to MailChimp, okay, so that we can continue with this particular step. All right, so come into share, okay. After you've created your MailChimp account, come into share and come into more, okay. In here you can just search for MailChimp. So MailChimp, you can see it's in here. Come here, okay, MailChimp, and you can see you can choose the number of pages you want. So I just want the second page, so I'll just choose that here. Come to done and click save. Canva should actually prepare everything for us, okay, and MailChimp should be open. So I can just say view in MailChimp and it should open for me, so we can see MailChimp is actually loading. So I'm now signing into my MailChimp, and we can see everything is getting loaded in here. So you can see it's showing in here. So what we can now do is come to all campaigns, okay, just to create a new email, and I can choose create new, okay. Now make sure you're heading to email, okay, under email you can choose regular, right, then give it a name. So I'll just say MailChimp test, okay, so MailChimp test, all right, then begin. Lovely. So at this part you need to set everything, but I want us to focus on the design email, the content aspect of it, okay. Once you come in here, you see apply, design from scratch, or from scratch, you just choose apply, and what we can simply do is we can just come in here and add our image. So upload image, or you can say browse images, because we already have it in here. So come to browse images and select it and come to insert. It should be inserted nicely. We can delete this if you want, and with the logo we can just keep our logo in here, maybe reduce the size, and if you want to add extra text or anything else, we can just add it in here. So all you need to do is just make sure you're customizing the things you need to customize in here. And if you want this image to actually lead people to a particular link, what you need to do is click on the image, come to link to, okay, and add your website in here. So I can just put my website in here, okay, and it should open in a new tab. All right, so now that we've done that, I can come to save and exit, okay, and we should be back to this particular page. Now what we can do is I can send a test email after I've done everything I need to do, okay, and as part of the things you need to do, you need to add your subject, okay. So I can just see test email, okay, in the preview text, just in case you want people to see a particular text so that it gingers them to open it. You can also add this in here, okay, but it's optional actually, yeah. So I'll come to test email and I'll just put maybe test email in here, and I'll send a test, and that is how to actually do this with Canva. So after you do that, you should receive the test email in the inbox of any email address you entered. So this is what I have received. You can see it's looking very, very, very nice, okay. So if you are okay with this, then it means you can send it to your audience. And yes, this is how to design a newsletter inside of Canva and sending them to your audience using MailChimp. And I hope you found this video helpful. If this video was also easy to follow, please make sure to hit on the like button just so that you can support this video. And just in case there's any other thing you want me to design in my next tutorial, make sure you're leaving it in the comment section below. The name is Benjamin. Always remember, there is no limit to creativity, and I should see you in my next video.